Here we go. Alexander the Great, Book 10. Asia, nay. The nay in Clitic's a question. Pertasum est. Pertasa means wearied or bored. It takes a genitive of the thing. So, are you bored or wearied of Asia? With Asia, you might want to say. Quae vos, which vos is you. The gloria rerum gestarum. Pares fecit. So, are you bored with Asia, which you has been the glory, rerum gestum, of your deeds, of your actions, and pares fecit. There should be a word missing there. And I've inserted the word dis to the gods. So it's not dispares, which would mean unequal. So these glories, Asia's been the glory of your deeds and made you, fecit, made you, pares, equal, dis, to the gods. In Europam, in with the accusative means into, so into Europe, ire, to go. Properatus, here's our main verb, so you are properatus, you are hastening, ire, to go into Europe. Ablative absolute, rege deserto, having deserted your king, or with your king deserted, cum pluribus vestrum de futurum viaticum furit. So, when to most of you, vestrum is you, your vestrum viaticum. Viaticum is money for payment for you to travel, your travelling money, and futurum is a future, comes from desum, which has a couple of irregular things like if you look up the table, I think Cactus 2000's got tables and other ones. So when most of you are about to, de futurum, you're about to be lacking for your travelling money, ni, unless aesalium, this is the debts or the bronze coins of another, luisem, which means he's washed away this debt, he's taken away the debt or paid it. Nempe, it's an adverb, means surely. In Asiatica preda, this is in Asian booties. So they went into Asia, conquered, and they got lots of booty, which Alexander has paid their debts off because they spent more than they got. Nec pudet. Pudet's an impersonal, so nec is negative, so neither is it a shame, or he's possibly saying, are you shamed? Is it a shame? Profunde ventro. This is ablative from the profundo, from the depth of your belly, ventre, or in the depths of your belly. Divictarum gentium, double genitive, spolia. Okay, so spolia is the spoils. I think that's a spolium is a neuter. But so, the spoils of the divictarum gentium, which is the conquered. Divicta means the conquered, gentium's the races. Circumferentes, that's the present participle. To circumferre means to carry around. So neither is the shame from the deepest of your bellies, you're carrying around, circumferens, the spoils of these conquered nations. Reverti velle, velle means, and you want to revert or to go back, ad libros and conjugesque. So you want to return to your children and your spouses, your conjuxes, which would be wives. Quibus, porcae premia, with which porcae premia is a porcae small, premium is the rewards or the wages. So, with which you have small rewards, victoriae, of your victories, potestis, you are able, ostendere. Ostendere comes from potestis, which takes this infinitive. So he's addressing them so you're ashamed that you've been carrying around the spoils of these races, and now from profunda ventres, this is from your unending stomachs really, because they've spent so much, and they want to go back to their children and wives, but they don't have much rewards left. They have a porcae amount. And potest, what are they able to show these children and wives? Nam caterum. Nam's four of the rest, while dulmetium, while even, spe vestre obvium. Obvium is taking a dative. So obvium means going to meet. This is a adverb usually or something like that. So while even you are going to meet the hope, spe is hope in the dative, vestre is your hope. So for the rest of you, or the rest of these things, while you're going to meet your hope, istis is demonstrative pronouns. Ama quoque pignoro sunt. Pignoro sunt is pledges, which means that they've put into hoc basically. Quoque is also arms. So for the rest of these arms, basically, they've sold them for money, basically. So what is this hope all about? Bonus viro. Viro just means but. So bonus militibus, dative or ablative plurals, caritura sum, which means I'm about to be lacking, from a carrier, which takes the ablative. I'm about to be lacking good soldiers is what he's on about. Bonus militibus. Pellicum suarum concubines. Concubines means they're sharing a bed, and pellicums are mistresses. So they want to go back to their wives, but, he's sarcastically saying, I'm going to be losing good soldiers who are sleeping with concubines or prostitutes. Quibus, with which, hoc solum, this alone, ex tantus operibus superes. Superes is remaining. So these are pellicums, these are concubines, these prostitutes. They are hoc solum. They are the only thing from tantus opibus. Opibus is the resources and the wealth that is superes, that remains, in which impenditur. Impenditure is just the expenses. So they've hocked all their goods. Alexander's paid their debts, and all they have left is these prostitutes that they're sleeping with, and that's what they spent their money on. Pro indi. So then, it's a little bit stronger than just indi or dindis. Usually translated as so then. Fugientibus me. Patient, this is the subjunctive meaning let there be open. Patient, the limites. This is plural. This is the pathways for those who want to flee from me. If you want to desert him, open up the doors. Facesite, it's an imperative plural. Hinc ocius. Ocius means rather fast, so be away, hinc, from here. Ocius, rather fast. And we'll have a daily dictionary, which is the limes, the limitibus. Different versions of the third. These are the limits, the borders, or the paths, which Alexander wanted to open up for these people. Ego cum Persis. I, with the Persians, abiuntium. This is a present participle from the NT there. Tutabor, it's a future. I will tutor, I will safeguard with the Persians, the turga, the backs of those abiuntium, those going away. Nemenem tenio, I shall hold no one. Nemenem's in the accusative. Liberate, here we have another plural imperative. Liberate my eyes, my oculus. Set them free in gratissimi cives. This is a superlative, the eye shows it's plural, so this is the most ungrateful citizens. Free my eyes from seeing you, basically. Lots of short sentences. Laetae vos excipient parentes. So, laetae parentes, this is happy parents will excipient vos, you, in the accusative. They will receive you. And we have the enclitic qui here, and liberi, the children. Without vestro rege radiuntos. Radiuntos is a present participle. So, your parents will receive you happily, and your children returning without vestro rege, without your king. Obviam again, ibunt. That's actually imperfect. So, they will be going out, obviam, to meet, deserter buses transfugientis qui. Deserters and runaways, transfugitives, people who have run away. Triumphabo, simple future. I will have triumphs. Me Hercules by Hercules. It's an interjection. De fuga vestra, and concerning your flight, and ubicumque, and to wherever, ero, I shall be. It's the verb. Ex petem poenus hos. I shall seek out hos those. This shall be punishment, the poenus. Cum quibus me relinquitis. And with those who you have relinquished with me, those who you have left behind with me, your punishment will be that he will collendo and preferendo qui vobis. So he's going to punish them by praising and giving preference to those who have been left behind with him. Yam autem. Autem's however or moreover. So moreover, yam now, scietas you shall know, and quantum sine rege valiat exercitus, and quantum, how much an army, valiat is how much it's worth, basically, without its king, sine rege, and quid, opus in me uno sit, and how much the work there is or value in this one thing, this one work, or this one value in me, in himself. The silhouette, which means he jumps days down, day in, days then. Friend ends a present participle, so he's gnashing his teeth with anger. Down from the tribunale, This must be eye stem because it's got an eye. So then he jumped down, grinding his teeth from the tribunal, and in medium armatorum agman, and into the middle armatorum of these armed men, and this agman's the column, he inmissid him, say. So he sent himself, say, into the middle of these armed men. Notos quoque qui ferissime oblicutein. So obliquute means those who are spoken up. So notatis, he is noted quoque also, qui those who ferocissime, who's most ferociously or had been speaking the most angrily. And he caripid, he grabbed Manu by his hand, singulos, one at a time. Nec orsos, neither were they daring. We see notatos is the accusative plural, singulos, same thing, and orsos, accusative plural. None of them dared to repugnare, to fight back. 13 adservandos, this is a gerundive, and he handed over custodibus corpus to his these datives, to his bodyguards, custodius corpus, 13 of them adservandus, so that they'll be guarded. Quis crederit, who would have believed? Savam, which is savage, Paulo ante, a little before, a contionem, which is an assembly, in the accusative here. Who would have believed that this savage assembly, Paulo ante, which was a savage assembly a little before, subato suddenly, metu by fear, had ob torpoisade. They've become very docile. And cum ad supplicum viderat, and so cum, when they had seen, veterated, traho, being dragged to supplications or off to be punished, nihil also gravia quem rest. They saw those who were dead, nothing more graviore, nothing more serious, quam ceteros, than the rest being dragged off for punishment. Sive, so either if nominanis, in the name, quod gentes, which are races, which que sunt subregibus, which are under kings, they praise these regibus, these kings amongst the gods, inter dios, sive again, or in the veneration propria ipsis, propria again means it was belonging to him. If you appropriate something, it means you take it for yourself. So this is the veneration for Alexander himself, another sieve, or if it was the fiducia, tanta vi exercentis imperium conterratud eos, or either that he had confidence in such exercising such power. The imperium again is his power, and v is a power in the ablative. Anyway, conterrated eos, so he scared them either by his name, which all these people have kings praise as if it's to a god, or the veneration that they have from himself, or because he just was so confident in handling his own power, it terrified them. Singulare curtae ididerunt patientate exemplum. So, certainly, curtae diderunt, they produced or brought forth examples, singulare patientia. Basically, such singular examples of patience, they were examples of patience. Adioque, and to such an extent, non sunt ascensi supplico com militonum. When you see this in front of a lot of words, com usually means a fellow soldier. And they were not burning with such, ascensi is burning, to such an extent with the supplication, with these, which here means the punishment of their fellow soldiers. Cum sub noctem, when under night, or during the night, cognoscent, they learnt interfectos esse. That these 13 people had been killed, it looks like. Ut nihil omisserant, so that nothing was omitted or left out. Quod singuli magis obedientor and pa facerant. It looks like they've come in the line. So magus means more, so each single person become more obedient and were made pious, basically. So they were now following him. Nam, 4, cum postero die, for when the next day, prohibiti aditu veniscent, when they had come and they were prohibited in the approach, aditus is a fourth declension. The next day when they'd come and they were prohibited to have any access and approach the king, and the Asiaticus modo militibus radmissus, modo here means only, when only admitted were the Asiatic soldiers. Lugubrium totus castra editore clamore. Clamore is just the din, so the lugubrium is a howling, sort of wailing, mournful sort of clamor, was a editerate produced throughout the whole camp. Denuntiantes, so here they're announcing in the present participle. Protonus probably means from henceforth on. Se mortuoris. This is one of the futures. So they were shouting out that they wanted to say themselves to die if C. Rex, if the king perseverated irasci. If he persevered in his anger, they announced that they wanted to die. At illi. That's but illi is Alexander. But Alexander, per vivacius, this looks like a third adjective. This means doggedly or perseveringly or firmly, ad omnia, to everything, quae adjustes, which he was going to do. So he was doggedly towards everything which he was going to do. And animi peregrinorum militum contionem advocare jubit. So this is him. He's ordering advocare to be called, another contionem, another assembly, with the souls of the foreign soldiers. Macedoniabus intra castra cohibitus. So with the Macedonian troops being checked, cohibitus, inside their camp. Et cum frequentes coisent. So, and when coisent, they had come together. Frequentes, this usually means crowded. So when they all crowded together, adhibito interprete, and this is ablative absolute. When he had applied an interpreter, or when he was using an interpreter, he had worded. He had an oration, he gave a speech, talem, such as, and now it follows. Cum ex Europa traicerem in Asiam. So when traicerem, I was crossing in with the accusative into Asia, ex Europa, from Europe, multas nobiles gentes, many noble races, magnum vim hominum, and a great force, hominum, genitive of man. Spiribem, I was hoping, esse additurum, would be added into imperium meo. It would come into my power. We have meo and me here.